Hello, Bob. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. I'm all good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I think it's that time of the week where we record another podcast.
Yeah, and
It's all good.
today's all about coffee.
Yeah, coffee shops. So I think everybody knows what we're going to say next, and that is we're going to talk about Starbucks. But why not? Everyone's talking about it, right? It's the big loyalty news in the marketplace at the minute. So let's see if we can put our intelligent 5 pence worth into the conversation.
So you think this is pretty good, or
I think it is mostly good. I think let's talk about the good, shall we? Let's talk about the good
yeah,
because
go
there's
on.
lots of good, and then we'll talk about the what everyone's talking about, which is maybe the value proposition. But I think what I would say is good about this program is they're really trying to move away from transactional and much more towards behavioral elements, right? So they're trying to make it a bit more about being part of the brand experiences and things like that. And I think that's good. That's where loyalty programs are moving to. I also really like the tiers.
You know, when I think of coffee, it's like, does it taste good or does it not taste good? I mean, that's the only reason that I'm bored to a coffee shop, right?
Yeah.
And Starbucks has got a certain taste, right? And which I don't mind. Yeah. But I happen to prefer Costa. So if I'm sitting there with Costa or Starbucks, I'm always going to walk into a Costa.
Yeah.
So for me, loyalty in coffee is I kind of get it because the frequency of purchase, but what else?
Yeah, well, I think that's where they're trying to get to. I think that's exactly where Starbucks are trying to get to. They're trying to move away from, okay, you buy a coffee, get a reward, and more about, okay, there is experiential value that will come your way as a result of being a loyal member to our program.
So what sort of
And
experiential value are they offering?
so they've got things like currently they've got
Mm.
exclusive merchandise available to people. They've got coffee farm experiences. They've got certain events. There'll be lots of different types of events, I'm sure. Maybe local events specific to where you are in the globe. But they'll be putting on events for their members, and then there's of course elite recognition. So they're going from kind of a transactional program that rewards you with free drinks or free mods to much more of a brand engagement model.
I think that's in the past for them. I mean, you know, if you think about Starbucks as a brand like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, everyone was like thinking, yeah, they're groovy. You know, it's a bit like some of those other brands like Innocent, everyone really got into, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a mature brand now, and the stuff they're doing, I think would have been great 10 or 15 years ago from what you're saying. But right now, it's like, I mean, a few years ago, they were saying that they kind of lost their way because of all the personalization of drinks, right? Because it's like you go in there and you want your special ice drink or whatever it was. I think it was the ice drink that took so long to make, and they just took so long to make. It completely impacted on the customer journey.
Point there, though, I think this is why they're doing it, right? The coffee shops have all become a bit vanilla, no pun intended. But in order to, so what Starbucks are now doing is they're saying, right, we are going to create an experiential value to our program, which will make people feel more engaged in the brand. And good luck to them. I like that they're doing that. I think they're also looking for kind of more kind of behavioral control. So it being it with the tiers and the different rates that you can earn at and that sort of thing, they'll be able to learn more about what people do, how often they shop, and that sort of thing within those kind of segments. So it gives them the opportunity to drive those behaviors in a bit more of a specific way, which is.
Can you hear these squirrels or foxes fighting?
Oh no, I can't.
All right, okay.
Are they really going for it? Yeah, at a green tier, you're now only getting 1 star per dollar. At a reserve tier, you're getting 1.7 stars per dollar. So only just below what you were getting at 2 stars.
Yeah, but times are hard, man. I mean, if you were any other brand, you'd be discounting, or you'd be, you know, value adding, or you'd be, you know, whatever. It always amazes me when people see that a sort of points gearing change, that they suddenly go up in arms. Like, I kind of get it because it's all about loyalty, but but it's just the way of the world. It's quite an emotional brand, Starbucks, isn't it? It's like, I think if you're in their loyalty program, then you're quite emotional about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure, as some of these comments say, I'm sure that you're not going to change your coffee buying habits, and it is quite easy to just top up your card and all that kind of stuff. So, from a data point of view, don't they already have all this? If I've got a card that I top up and I go in there, don't they already capture what drink I have and frequency? And
that's a really interesting point, because what I think that they will do now is they will lean into their digitized solution. So we know that Starbucks, because you preload your value, they're essentially, they've got more global value of consumers than some banks, right? They're sitting on this value. And I think we will start to see Starbucks really lean into that sort of ecosystem.
But what all of these coffee shops do really, really well, right, is product innovation and digital screens. Like, so when you walk in there, right, you're kind of like, you might have only gone in for a coffee, but you're like going, wow, that new range of lattes looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, they haven't got a product problem. They haven't got an innovation problem. You either love the taste of Starbucks or you love the taste of Costa, right? And or you like both, but you don't really mind, yeah. And so for me, it's kind of like the hardest part they seem to have done. They've got people putting cash pre-purchasing in effect, right? They've got people putting cash on the card, right?
Yeah.
But angry from LinkedIn, basically not even mentioning it. Right, so it's like,
no, because a lot of people, it's just like every time it's happened, Sainsbury's halved their value, Avios halved their value, Pret put the price of their subscription up, and the press and the people in the industry just go, but what I would say to that, or what I would say as a summary of what Starbucks have done, is that yes, they have devalued the program in terms of points earned, or stars in their case, but they've restructured it to reward its most loyal customers and create a status-driven behavior. So what that means is that people will still be able to earn what they used to. They'll have to maintain their spend, and they might have to increase their spend if down the lower tier, but they'll also have to engage with the brand in other ways, maybe through that kind of ecosystem in which I believe there'll be events and games and exclusives and MPD and things like that. And I think if you engage with the brand, through all of those forms, you'll do very, very well.
Tom, so given all the changes, what does your predictor model say about their loyalty program?
So our 6-level maturity model scoring, we scored it for previous and new program.
Okay.
And marks have gone up slightly. It went from 79%, which is a good score, very good score. It's gone up to 84%. And where it kind of really accelerated was in kind of levels 4 and 5. So conversion and action and loyalty and advocacy. It jumped up 4% in level 4, and it jumped up 9% in level 5. So it's improved pretty much across the board. But yeah, across our measures of conversion and loyalty, it's really kind of accelerated. Time will tell, but maybe we'll rescore it in 6 months when things have sort of settled down and see where it actually is then. But yeah, a good score, and I think an improvement, albeit some of the less frequent members will see a value drop in their value of their stars.